It was 6 a.m. on a Saturday. The windows of my 15-year-old sedan were opaque with condensation, sealing me inside a capsule of stale air and fast food wrappers. I jolted awake, my neck seizing up, the result of sleeping in a reclined driver's seat for 5 months straight. I wiped a porthole through the fog with my sleeve, expecting a cop telling me to move along. It wasn't a cop. Standing in the dawn light, staring at the pile of dirty laundry that served as my pillow, was my grandfather, Arthur. I didn't just feel shame, I felt annihilated. I opened the door, tumbling out onto the asphalt. I was a wreck, puffy-faced, smelling of cheap soap and desperation. Grandpa looked from me to the house behind me, my house, where the golden glow of the kitchen lights showed my sister making coffee. He looked back at me, his eyes wide with a horror that was quickly hardening into something much darker. "Matt?" His voice trembled, not with age, but with suppressed rage. "The house I gave you, didn't you like it?" To understand why I was shivering in a parking spot while my sister slept in my master bedroom, you have to understand the hierarchy of my family. I am Matt. I'm 22, quiet, and pathologically non-confrontational. My entire life, I have been the peacemaker, the one who folds to keep the boat from rocking. My parents, Rick and Paula, relied on that, but they worshipped my sister, Gabby. Gabby is 28, the golden child, the eternal victim. She married Fred, a man allergic to steady employment, and they produced 2 children they couldn't afford. They survived entirely on handouts from my parents and the generous monthly stipend Grandpa Arthur sent them. I was the afterthought. While Gabby drained the family resources, I worked as an administrative assistant, earning $1,800 a month. It was modest, but it was mine. I never asked for help. I think that's why Grandpa Arthur loved me. He was a retired tycoon, a man of iron principles who detested laziness. He saw my silence not as weakness, but as humility. 3 months ago on my birthday, he had driven 3 hours to drop a nuclear bomb on our family dynamic. We were all crammed into my parents' suffocating 2-bedroom apartment. Grandpa had handed me a thick manila envelope. Inside were deeds, keys, and a future. "It's a 3-bedroom home in Pineview," Grandpa had said, ignoring the sudden, shark-like stillness of my parents. "Fully furnished, paid off. It is in your name, Matt, because you have a head on your shoulders." I had cried, actually wept. For the first time, I wasn't just existing. I had a foundation. But the moment Grandpa's car disappeared down the street the next morning, the sharks began to circle. "It's too much house for one person," my mother started, her voice sickeningly sweet. "Think of your niece and nephew," my father added, looming over me. "They're cramping in here. You're single. You don't need 3 bedrooms. Don't be selfish, Matt," Gabby whined, wielding her children like emotional riot shields. "We're family. Family shares." They didn't ask. They eroded me. Day after day, hour after hour. Selfish, ungrateful, child hater. They weaponized my own passivity against me. After 3 weeks of psychological siege warfare, I broke. "Fine," I had whispered, handing over the keys. "Gabby can have it." They moved in 48 hours later. My mother told me I could stay in the old apartment rent-free as a consolation prize. 2 days later, I came home from work to find my key didn't fit the lock. My mother didn't answer her phone. Gabby had blocked me. Finally, the landlord found me standing in the hallway. "Rick and Paula terminated the lease yesterday," he told me, looking confused. "I've already rented it out. You need to leave." They hadn't just taken my gift. They had erased my existence. Too ashamed to tell my friends, too humiliated to call Grandpa and admit I'd failed him, I moved into my car. I parked it on the street directly in front of the house Grandpa gave me. Every night I watched my TV flicker through my living room window while I ate cold beans and tried to sleep sitting up. Back in the driveway, the front door swung open. My mother stepped out, clutching her robe, a smile plastered on her face that faltered the second she saw Grandpa standing next to my mobile slum. "Dad!" she shrieked, the panic evident. "What a surprise! We didn't know you were—" Grandpa Arthur didn't even look at her. His eyes were locked on me, taking in the grease in my hair, the hollows under my eyes. "Explain," Grandpa said. The word was soft, but it carried the weight of a gavel strike. "Well, it's just," Mom stammered, rushing.